Assalamu alaikum, this is your teacher Ms. Nermeen Al-Alawi, and today Sadis we are going to start with our new unit, Unit 3. Now the title of our unit is What is going to happen next? Now here we have a question, and you have to remember Sadis that we use going to plus the verb to show the future. So what is going to happen next? We are asking here what is going to happen in the future. So let's start with our reading text. We are reading Sadis from the student book, page 40. And here you have the reading text with the title, Danger at the Old House. Now you know Sadis أخذنا مس إنه danger is the noun of dangerous. بمعنى dangerous اللي هي خطير, it is an adjective, and we have danger is a noun. So the title of our lesson is Danger at the Old House. Let's start reading together. On Jack's birthday, Uncle Ted gave him a fishing rod. Uncle Ted took Jack and his sister Mary to the river. They fished all day, but they didn't see any fish and none of them caught anything. Now on Jack's birthday, كبداية للنص اللي احنا بنقرأه سادس رح تشوفي وتنتبهي انه احنا we are reading a story. في عنا قصة. And we have started our story with mentioning the characters أو شخصيات القصة. Now the characters means the people who are in the story. الشخصيات هم عبارة عن الناس اللي بيكونوا بالقصة أو بينذكروا بالقصة. Now in the first paragraph we have known that we have Jack, Uncle Ted and Mary as the characters of the story. هدول هم عندي الشخصيات لحد الآن بالقصة اللي هم Jack, Uncle Ted and Jack's sister Mary. Now on Jack's birthday, Uncle Ted gave him a fishing rod. Now fishing rod سادس اللي هي سنارة الصيد. So he gave him a gift on his birthday, a fishing rod. Uncle Ted took Jack and his sister Mary to the river. They fished all the day. اصطادوا طوال اليوم, but they didn't see any fish and none of them caught anything. بمعنى مس انهم هم راحوا ليصطادوا, حاولوا انهم يصطادوا طوال اليوم all the day, لكنهم ما شافوا اي سمك ولا حدا فيهم استطاع انه يصطاد اي شيء. So again, the time is on Jack's birthday. Uncle Ted gave Jack a fishing rod as a gift for his birthday. They went to the river to fish, but they didn't see any fish and they didn't catch anything. Now let's start with the part of speech. خلينا نشوف كم من كلمة عندنا سادس بالفقرة ونعرف part of speech لإلهم. حكينا part of speech أو اللي هو the class of the word, بمعنى إذا كانت الكلمة noun, verb, adjective أو adverb. Let's start with the word Ted. في عندي Uncle Ted زي ما بتعرفي سادس the nouns of persons and countries دائما بنسميهم proper noun. احنا بنعرف انه هي noun لانها بتدلني على شخص, لكن كمان لازم ننتبه انه اذا كانت اسم الشخص او اسم مكان بتكون بنسميها proper noun. Now we have the word took. خلينا نشوف الجملة كاملة سادس. Uncle Ted took Jack and his sister Mary to the river. Now took here is a past verb. وإذا بدنا نشوف الجملة كاملة, Uncle Ted is the subject, في عندي الفاعل. Took is the past verb أو اللي هو الفعل بحالة الماضي. And Jack and his sister Mary كلياتها is the object أو اللي هي المفعول به. طيب, let's see fish. They fished all day. هون سادس احنا بنعرف دائما انه fish بيكون معناها اسماك او سمك. لكن هون لما نشوف they fished all the day بمعنى انهم هم اصطادوا طوال اليوم, وبالتالي بدي اياكي تعرفي سادس انه fish ممكن تكون مش noun بمعنى اسم, وانما ممكن احيانا تكون verb بمعنى يصطاد, واضفنا الايدي لانه كان في عندي past verb. So they fished all the day. هون fish كانت verb. أما هون they didn't see any fish. هون كانت عندي مس بمعنى السمك, إنه هم لم يروا أي سمكة, وبالتالي هون كانت مثل ما إحنا بنعرفها دائما كان part of speech إلها هو noun. Let's move now سادس to the second paragraph. The next day the weather was cloudy and dull. The stream looked grey and gloomy. It doesn't look so pretty today, said Mary sadly. They set up their rods and began fishing, but still no one caught a single fish. I can't understand it, said Uncle Ted. The stream should be full of fish this early on in this season. I've never known it so empty. Jack looked upstream in the distance. He saw an old building. It was built across the water. What is that building? He asked. So the next day after they tried to fish, the weather was cloudy and dull. الجو كان cloudy غائم and it was dull. Now dull سادس mean it was not bright. So dull means not bright بمعنى انه كان شبه معتم. It was cloudy and dull. The stream اللي هو مجرى النهر looked grey and gloomy. Gloomy which means that it was dark. فكان عندي مجرى النهر كان لونه مختلف بمعنى انه كان هو رمادي and it was gloomy كان معتم. It doesn't look so pretty today, said Mary sadly. ما تنسي مس انه انا احيانا look بتكون عندي بمعنى يبدو انه هو لا يبدو جميل اليوم. They set up their rods. Set up سادس بمعنى جهزوا صناراتهم and they began fishing. And here began means they have started. They started fishing. بدأوا بالصيد ولازم تعرفي مس إنه began هي ماضي begin. يعني begin هي verb 1 أو the present verb and began is the past verb أو verb 2. So they set up their rods and began fishing but still no one caught a single fish. لساتنا بعنا مشكلة إنه there is no fish. I can't understand it, said Uncle Ted. The stream should be full of fish this early on in this season. بمعنى إنه المفروض بإنه النهر يكون مليء بالأسماك في هذا الموسم. I have never known it so empty. بمعنى إني أبدا ما عرفته أو بعمري ما شفته فارغ بهذا الشكل. Jack looked upstream. نظر إلى أعلى النهر. In the distance بمكان بعيد he saw an old building. It was built across the water. What is that building? He asked. Now سادس, let's see the pronoun it. I've never known it so empty. هنا it, what does it refer to? لمين بيرجع هذا الضمير؟ I have never known it so empty. لما تقرأ الجملة اللي قبلها رح تعرفي إنه it refers to the stream. خلينا نقرأ الجملة من أولها. The stream should be full of fish this early on in the season. I have never known it so empty. ومشان نتأكد سادس بإمكاننا نحذف it ونحط بدالها stream ونشوف إذا المعنى بيكون صحيح. The stream should be full this season. I have never known the stream so empty. بما إنه المعنى كان عندي صحيح 100% معناته ال pronoun reference بيرجع للستريم مثل ما حكينا. Now let's move to the third paragraph. It was a ruin until a few months ago, said Uncle Ted. Nobody ever went there. But then a man called Sid Scrub and his brother Harry bought it. Now it is a small factory where material is hand-dyed. The material is sold to make clothes and tablecloths. Lots of people work at the factory, but they say that Sid Scrub and his brother are not very nice. They have bad tempers. Okay, سادس. So it was a ruin until a few months ago. هنا miss it refers to the building. حكينا إنه Jack he saw a building in the distance. فهنا we are talking about that building. Now that building was a ruin. Ruin سادس بمعنى حطام. It was damaged. So it was a ruin until a few months ago, said Uncle Ted. Nobody ever went there, but then a man called Sid Scrub and his brother Harry bought it. بمعنى إنه هذا المبنى كان مهجور. Nobody ever went there. لكن حتى جاء رجل his name is Sid Scrub and his brother Harry and they bought it. Bought اللي هي the past of buy بمعنى إنهم هم اشتروا هذا المبنى. Now it is a small factory. Factory سادس اللي هو المصنع. So it is a building in which objects are produced. بمعنى هو المكان اللي بيتم فيه إنتاج أو صناعة الأشياء. So that building is now a small factory. هو مصنع. إيش بنعمل بهذا المصنع؟ Where material is hand dyed. هذا المصنع بيتم فيه صبغة أو عمل الصبغة للمواد. Material معناها مادة. hand dyed شو في سادس؟ dye لحالها معناها صبغة اللي هي تغيير ألوان الأشياء. لما حكينا hand dyed بمعنى إنه بيتم صباغتها لكن يدوياً. So hand dyed means that it is colored by persons using the dyes. Dyes اللي هي الصبغات. So where the material is hand dyed, the material هاي المواد اللي هم بينتجوها it is sold to make clothes and table clothes. بنبيعها لحتى يتم صناعة الملابس وأغطية المائدة فيها. Lots of people work at the factory, but the people say that Sid Scrub and his brother are not very nice. بمعنى إن الناس اللي كانوا بيشتغلوا بالمصنع أو اللي بيشتغلوا في المصنع حالياً بيحكوا إنه Sid Scrub and his brother they are not nice. بمعنى إنه هم مش لطيفين. They have bad tempers. bad temperaments يعني إنهم هم عندهم مزاج سيء. بمعنى they are easily annoyed or angry. بيتم إغضابهم سريعاً. فهم مزاجهم سيء أو إنهم سريعين الغضب. Now let's see the word ago. The part of a speech of ago سادس نقرأها كاملة. It was a ruin until a few months ago. هنا ago بما إنها كانت بتدلني على الزمن وهي طبعا من ال keywords للsimple past فما إنها الكلمة بتدلني على الزمن معناته it is an adverb. Okay. Let's move to the last paragraph in our page. Now Jack looked at the building through the binoculars. It looked like an interesting place. Can Mary and I go and have a look? He asked. I don't know about that, said Uncle Ted. You don't want to bump into Sid Scrub, do you? We will be very careful, said Mary. Uncle Ted thought for a moment. All right, he said, but you must not go too near the building. Do you promise? Yes, we promise, said Jack and Mary. So Jack looked at the building through his binoculars. Binoculars سادس هي المنظار. It looked like an interesting place. كان المكان مثير للاهتمام بالنسبة له. Can Mary and I go and have a look? He asked. And here he refers to Jack. So Jack asked if he and Mary can go to have a look. يلقوا نظرة على هذا المصنع. I don't know about that, said Uncle Ted. You don't want to bump into Sid Scrub. Bump into mess اللي هي to meet by chance بمعنى إنه أنتوا تصادفوا Sid Scrub. Do you? We will be very careful, said Mary. Uncle Ted thought for a moment. All right, he said, but you mustn't go too near the building. إنه ما تروحوا قريب جدا من المبنى. Do you promise? Yes, we promise. Promise بمعنى يعد. Okay, now here we have he. What does it refer to? حكينا إنه he refers to Jack. Jack asked. Okay, now by that سادس we have finished our page for today. إن شاء الله بالحصة الجاية بنكمل الصفحة اللي بعدها سادس. Thank you for watching and have a good day.